Hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Sports in the Mix with the crew. We are in the house. I am Cedric Bailey on the road in the music city of Nashville, where the Titans and, of course, the Buffalo Bills are playing. And I got to tell you about that. But join us from the West Coast, right down the road from SoFi Stadium, is the one and only Aundre Russell. What's up, man?
I am here representing my Atlanta Braves. Can y'all see Atlanta? Yeah, I got on the hat, I got Atlanta shirt, I got another one here.
All right.
This is all from my buddy, my dear friend Kevin Simon, who's a Dodger fan. But if you notice, folks, he had his Dodger hat on backwards. It's turned around. The Braves up 2 games to none.
Well, they ain't made it to LA yet. So Kevin, what you got to say about that?
Well, Dre, they were the Dodgers were down 2-0 last year and 3-1. Braves needed to win one game, couldn't get it done. So the Dodgers won 3 straight. I'm not worried until they lose a game at Dodger Stadium. Right now, the Dodgers got them right where they want them.
All right.
Well, we got so much to talk about, and I do want to say, since being here in Nashville, man, the Buffalo Bills, it's like they just came here in droves. They took over downtown, and I guess what makes it so interesting is because one of the greatest games ever happened when Jeff Fisher was coach, the Music City Miracle, man. Do you remember that back in January?
Absolutely.
Man, remember that play? Because the question was it on the line? And the way it was, he caught his foot, was back on the line, and he caught the ball a half a step from the line. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, we all remember that game, but I was listening to the game tonight. It almost sounds like Buffalo has a home field over there. There's a lot of Buffalo fans in that stadium, just as you talked about, Sid. There's a lot of Buffalo fans downtown.
Yeah. Well, let me say this, and we're going to talk. We got so much, and Dre's going to have to talk to us about baseball because I've been keeping up with it or so as well. But, man, I can't believe it. My dad's blowing up my phone, calling me. He said, son, Michael Irvin done told all the Cowboy fans to go on and buy their tickets now.
Here we go.
So they can get out to Los Angeles.
Here we go.
And my man said, well, he need to buy tickets where they can't get no refund. What in the world is a playmaker trying to do, man? Kevin told us, and you know why I'm not a Cowboy fan no more. Why, Kevin? Tell us.
Well, but that plus Tony Romo was talking that same talk that, they got a good shot. The Cowboys got a pretty good shot to go to the Super Bowl. They went back-to-back games in the season. I don't care if it's the only 2 games they win in the season. They are going to the Super Bowl. That's how Cowboys and Cowboy fans are. Man, they make you know they are obnoxious. They're like Texas Longhorns fans. They're just obnoxious folks, man.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them too because Steve Sarkisian, when he first got there, he was getting free hamburgers and sandwiches and everything now. But now they probably spitting in his food now because he was
Oklahoma owns the state of Texas. What is the back-to-back week?
Yeah, so it's a lot going on, and we're going to do this. Dre, let's go ahead and jump into it. First, we got to hit WNBA. Why is it so important that Candace Parker, who's from Chi-Town, leads a team that finished the regular season 16-6 and wins the WNBA championship?
Well, congratulations to Candace Parker and the Chicago Sky because they just won the WNBA championship, knocking off over the weekend Sunday, beating the Phoenix Mercury 3-1. Now, Candace, this is big. She spent 13 years here in LA playing for the LA Sparks. And of course, and she won a championship here. Now she gets to go home. And it's big to her because she won it in her hometown of Chicago with her parents there and all of her family and her former coaches, high school coaches. And it was just really important to her. So I'm happy for Candace. And congratulations to the Chicago Sky. They got the WNBA championship.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, and a couple of partial owners for Chicago is Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child, the old member of Destiny's Child. She was part owner. And Matthew Knowles, Beyonce's dad, is part owner of the Sky. So they got a part of that championship.
and the whole city was there for them in there and supported them,
Right.
Yeah.
So that was great because Chicago, they hadn't been a very good team. I mean, without Candace. Now for Candace to come there, be the savior, that's great. Great news, great story, great feel-good story for her and the WNBA. Great stuff.
And they had to be the tough team with Sue Bird, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and the young lady Brittany Griner. That was a tough Phoenix team. That was just not a pushover.
Yeah, Griner had 28 points. So that was a tough team to match up against.
And they had to play the best of one game series, kind of like, what St. Louis did and the Dodgers just to get to the next round,
Yeah.
And it was interesting. In other news, man, I got to send a big shout out, man. Did you see what Deion Sanders did down there at JSU? 55,000 Black folks showed up at JSU for a game.
I did see that.
Man. What do you think about that, Dre?
That's down in my neck of the woods, man. I grew up 90 miles from there. And I was so happy to see that and hear that. And Prime has added a lot to the SWAC, as you guys know. The Southwestern Athletic Conference is rejuvenated with Deion Sanders in there coaching at Jackson State. And it's just great, man. It's really good news and great stuff. And that's another feel-good story. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And on a sad note, homecoming at Grambling, and they had a shooting at 1 o'clock in the morning, man.
I know.
And the bad thing, it was people who weren't students that came on campus acting a fool.
Yeah, well, that's the case in a lot of these incidences, and so we got to do a better job. We just got to do better.
Yep, that happens all over America, man. It's happening everywhere. And like you said, a lot of these knuckleheads that come to these parties, they're gang members or knuckleheads. They're not even thinking about college. They're just trying to get to the party and then get to the party and act a fool.
Start some
unfortunate.
That's right.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's go ahead now and do our baseball report, because we got to save college football and the NFL and then the NBA season and all that. It's so much to talk about. So let's go ahead, Dre. Let's recap that matchup between the Braves and the Dodgers. Man, let's talk about that, because the Braves, man, have been on a mission, man.
Yeah, and the thing about the Braves, even though I have on all their gear, I am an Atlanta Braves fan, full disclosure. But they really, when their season midway through the year, when they lost MVP candidate Ronald Acuna, their all-star, and when he tore his ACL, you figure, okay, the Braves are done. But man, their GM went out and made some moves, picked up some guys, and they stayed in the hunt. But even now, with Jorge Soler out with COVID, one of their best outfielders who replaced Acuna, and they're still winning. And it's crazy that they're up on the Dodgers 2-0, but like Kevin said, the series shifts to LA now. And I fully expect the Dodgers to get back in the series. The next 3 games, if it goes that far, are in LA, and then the last 2 would be down in Atlanta if it goes to 6 and 7 games. But the Braves are just playing out of their heads. They pulled out a couple of late wins. And a lot of people, and I know Kevin's gonna echo this one, a lot of people question Dodgers manager Dave Roberts and his bullpen moves, because he makes some moves sometimes that they backfire and things just don't work out. But the Braves got reigning MVP Freddie Freeman. He's not even hitting in the first 2 games. They got MVP candidate Cody Riley, the third baseman, who's knocking the leather off the ball. And they got Ozzie Albies, who's a heck of a player, a second baseman, all-star. And then this guy named Edwin Rosario, who most people don't know. He's hot as a firecracker right now. So that's the story on that end. And then Kevin, I'm sure he's got something to say about Dave Roberts and those bullpen moves.
Well, the knock on Dave Roberts before they won the World Series was his micromanaging, his over-managing of the bullpen. And so that was an issue with him before that. It kind of went away after they won the World Series. Now it's going to come back, especially if they lose this series. But yeah, he does a lot of different stuff. And so far it hasn't worked out in this series. We'll see in the long haul. But that was the knock on Roberts, before they won that World Series and got that off his back.
It seems like the Dodgers as a team, they pay a lot of attention to analytics. They have a huge analytics department. Yeah. And sometimes that stuff backfires on them. So
yes, it does. Moves, sure does.
And Kevin, I know you know this. A lot of those moves don't come from Dave himself. It's from the analytics department. Say, hey, you got to move this guy, take this guy out, blah, blah, blah.
No, that's exactly right. And again, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Like Dusty Baker's goes by feel. A lot of those old-time managers go by feel of the game. And so, the Dodgers kind of rely on that analytics, kind of like all, the A's used to. I'm not sure if they still do, but the West Coast seems to rely on that kind of stuff. But we'll see if it works out. But so far, if he's going to get rammed in the head if this doesn't work out.
Well, Dusty Baker need to go by field a little more, because they're down. The Red Sox beating up on them, man.
I'm not sure about what's going on with their pitching. I mean, they've given up 3 grand slams in 2 games. Boston had 3 grand slams all season long. Now they've had 3 in 2 games. I'm not sure what's going on with the Astros pitching.
Oh, you can write it down. The Red Sox are going to be in the World Series from the American League. You can write that down. They're going to be there.
Well, Dusty gonna have to change wristbands or something, because Alex Cora is the one who wasn't he a part of the Astros staff with AJ Hinch?
He's the manager.
He got up out of
during
there
the
with
scandal,
Boston.
during the cheating scandal. He was their manager. Yeah.
Yeah. He got suspended for a year at Boston. Now he had to take a year off and then came back. Now he's back with Boston because of that cheating scandal. But
yeah.
Right now they look pretty good. Boston looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we'll just definitely see what's going to be going on in that situation. So I think I wanted to go back to the question with Los Angeles. Do you think that they keep Jansen in, or is he? I mean, are they put too much pressure on him or so? You know,
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can make, if it doesn't work out, you're gonna get questioned about it. But it's probably the right move for that guy over Urias. But we'll see. I mean, it's so many moves that they've been making. I mean, the first game they went all bullpen, and it makes it a whole bunch of different guys. So we'll see how this plays out. But like I said, if it doesn't work out, Dave Roberts is gonna be bashed in the head again.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, that's our American League Championship Series and the National League Championship Series. So we got about 4 minutes, just 5 minutes or so to talk about NBA. The season starts Tuesday, Los Angeles. What's going on, man? And is Golden State, are they fully back 100%? And then also Kyrie Irving. We got to talk about him on the shot situation. Go ahead.
Man, I just about an hour or two ago just talked to a dear friend of mine who coaches a team in the East, and I don't want to call his name, but he's one of the assistant coaches for a team in the East. Named the Brooklyn Nets. Anyway, but no, I talked to him, man. Kyrie still is not taking the vaccination shot, man. So he won't be playing for him or practicing with him for a while. I mean, I don't get it. There's still a handful of guys that haven't taken the shot in the NBA, but the other guys are not as affected because their cities that they play in aren't saying anything about, them not being able to play, like Bradley Beal at Washington and D'Angelo Russell at Minnesota, Michael Porter Jr. at Denver. But it's a handful of guys that haven't. But Kyrie, because New York, San Francisco, they have those protocols where guys can't play or practice in those cities unless they're vaccinated. Now, visiting players can come in and play, but they're just coming in and leaving. But Kyrie can't play. So, man, that's a crazy situation. That could be a whole show for me and Kevin Simon to talk about Kyrie Irving. But
maybe he needs to talk to Cam Newton because Cam
finally relented and got that shot because he wants a job. But is there any surprise that Kyrie is at the center of some of this nonsense?
Nope.
Okay, this guy is not a team player. He's selfish. He'll take off in the middle of the season and the organization can't even find where he is. This is what he does. He's going to miss some games, just take off because he wants to. So it's not a surprise that guy is at the center of this nonsense with the vaccinations. And so what does the organization do now? Do they get rid of him? Because he's becoming a problem now. You brought these guys, you got these guys to come to Brooklyn, and now you ain't showing up. And so this is kind of where we are.
And you know what's crazy? They can't trade him because no other team is going to take him on, knowing what Kevin said, he might not show up for a week or two. So they're stuck with him. The best they're going to be able to do is probably just suspend him or something and not paying. He's not getting paid now because of what's going on with the virus. So it's a crazy situation. Brooklyn is still very good without him. With him, they're dominant. Without him, I think they're very, very good. But I got my Eastern teams here. The schedule starting, as Cedric said, Tuesday.
Go right here.
I got the Milwaukee Bucks. They're the champs, man. They're defending champs. And still, until somebody in the East knocks them off, I got them on top in the East. Followed by the Brooklyn Nets. I got the Atlanta Hawks with Nate McMillan in there now from the beginning. And Trae Young and John Collins got those new contracts. They're a good, shiny, fresh young team with a lot of good young talent. They're the deepest team in the NBA, to be honest with you guys. They're 12 deep. They got some players. The biggest problem I think Nate might have is who doesn't play. Because he got last year, some of those guys were injured, so it wasn't a problem. Now he's got to figure out who's not going to get minutes. But the Hawks are a nice young team. The Miami Heat, they're in the mix. I got them in my top 5 in the East. They got Kyle Lowry there now and Bam Adebayo coming back. The Boston Celtics are going to be interesting. They've changed the mix a little bit. They got a new coach. I got them up there in the East. Now, here's one that's really a question mark, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. You don't think Simmons going to lead them to the promised land?
No, I don't. Ben Simmons is still going to get traded, but it's a matter of what they get back in return. Right. That would determine on where I want to put Philly in the rankings because he finally showed up yesterday, and that was all about money, man. He doesn't his agent say, hey, man, we don't want you to lose all these millions. So he showed up, but they're still saying, please trade him rather.
Right.
So he'll get moved eventually. Until he does, Philly, I think, will just be – I don't think they're a great team, but they're good. Chicago Bulls are going to be a surprising team this year, I think. But them picking up DeMar DeRozan to go along with Zach LaVine. And I think the Bulls they got a lot of backcourt help. They got really good guards. I'm giving them some love. The New York Knicks coming back. They maybe I'm putting them maybe 6, 7 in the East. Another team that's up and coming, great young players, Charlotte Hornets with LaMelo Ball passing like Magic Johnson. They could make some noise in the East. And then the other one, I say the Indiana Pacers and possibly the Toronto Raptors. They could be in that play-in series, that new play-in deal. In the East, Cleveland, Washington, Orlando, Detroit, no way. They all got decent young players, but no shot at the playoffs. Then you jump to the West. My best team in the West, believe it or not, guys, I got the Phoenix Suns.
What? Okay.
Phoenix Suns and the Utah Jazz as the best teams in the West, especially I'm talking during the regular season. The Lakers, I've seen them up close, been to some games, been to some practices. I watched Anthony Davis up close last week, guys, and I was a little disappointed. I watched him practice 2 hours before a Laker game. I was 10 feet away from him, and just his effort out there working with an assistant coach, I just don't see it. It seems like he's lost his fire. I just don't see it. So if he doesn't dominate, the Lakers aren't going to be a championship team. They'll just be a good team or an exciting team. The Clippers, depending on what injuries happen with them, Kawhi Leonard's probably out for the year, could possibly return for the playoffs. I think the Clippers will be a solid team, definitely not a championship team. Dallas Mavericks are an interesting team to keep an eye on with Jason Kidd there. Depending on how he incorporates Porzingis in the mix with Luka Doncic, they could or could not be a top 5 team. Portland Trail Blazers, another interesting one to keep your eyes on with Chauncey Billups going there. They in essence kind of have the same squad of players, and so which means they'll be good, but not championship good. And then the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray's still out, and he's going to miss most, if not all, of the season coming back from that ACL, their point guard. So the Nuggets, I think, will be really good, but not championship good. Now, here's the one. I saved this one to last. The Golden State Warriors, they could really cause some trouble in the West, man. They have a great mix of young players and veterans on that team. And the Warriors could be real dangerous. Klay Thompson, I've watched him shoot around. He came to LA when they were here last week to play the Lakers in preseason. He's working out and practicing, but he probably won't play in a game till around Christmas. But coming back from an ACL injury and a torn Achilles the last couple of years. But Golden State, watch out for them. Then the other teams, these teams have great young talent, but Sacramento Kings, Memphis Grizzlies, and New Orleans Pelicans, loaded with young talent, but definitely not championship teams. But they could be in that play-in mix. And then Houston, Minnesota, no chance.
What about San Antonio, man, the Spurs?
I have them here and didn't mention them. The Spurs should have fallen in the group with those guys where I say great young talent, but not a threat. They got rid of all the vets, but they got good young players, but I don't see them being a threat, or they could sneak in a play-in spot. But that's my early look at the NBA and what I think.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin, you have a comment? Because we got about 30 seconds.
Real quick. I'm in the East. I'm sticking with what I had last season. Brooklyn, I think Kevin Durant almost single-handedly got them to the finals. And so I'm going to stick with Brooklyn as my number one, and my backup, same as last year. I'm going with Milwaukee. In the West, I'm going to take the Lakers to come out first, and then the Phoenix Suns.
All right. Well,
it depends on Anthony Davis. I'm telling you, it depends on Anthony Davis.
Yes, every season.
If he doesn't dominate. In the preseason, Carmelo Anthony looked great. Right. A couple of other young guys the Lakers have picked up look really good. Right now, they got a couple of injuries. Tatum Horton-Tucker's out with an injury. Trevor Ariza's out for a while. So today, they two surprise moves involved Avery Bradley. First, Golden State released him over the weekend. And I understand Steph Curry and Draymond Green didn't like that. They wanted him to hold on to Avery Bradley. And then guess what? The Lakers went in and snatched up their old player and brought him in. So with the injuries, now the Lakers have brought in Avery Bradley. So there you go.
Well, you heard it. That was segment 1, Sports in the Mix with the crew. I'm Cedric Bailey, along with Kevin Simon and Dre Russell in the house. We got to talk college football next. Had some more upsets, and there's a change in the rankings, and we're going to talk about it right here on Sports in the Mix with the crew here on the BGC Sports. And welcome back, segment 2, Sports in the Mix with the crew. I am Cedric Bailey, on with Kevin Simon and Dre Russell. And the word of the day, you got to get it from the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. And Dre, I'm gonna let you say it. What did Aaron Rodgers say as he did the discount double check?
Aaron Rodgers told the fans in the stands in Chicago, "I've owned you my whole effing life."
He ain't lying.
And then after that, he kept repeating, "I own you. I own y'all. I've always owned you." I was like,
ain't lying.
Man.
Yeah, boy.
He didn't play great, but he did have the 2 touchdown passes and that 1 touchdown run that, that's what he said after he got that 1 touchdown run. But yeah, he has on them. He's right. No lies told. Yeah.
All right, we got to talk college football, so let's talk about it. Okay, first of all, I don't have one with me, but do you guys have a golf ball around the house?
Man, what is going on in Tennessee? You can't be throwing golf balls and bottles of mustard at Lane Kiffin Tennessee had to clear their own cheerleaders, their own band, and their own dancers off the field because those fools in Tennessee were throwing golf balls and mustard bottles at people. Now, who brings a bottle of mustard and a golf ball to a game unless you're planning to cause chaos? And so, Lane Kiffin got hit with one of those golf balls. He took it all in stride because, for a brief second, he was the Tennessee Volunteers coach. He didn't stay long, took off at USC. And so they tried to get after him after they won that game, after Ole Miss was about to win it anyway. It was at the end of the game before it was over.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that because he was only there for one season, right?
Yeah.
And he left. Now, why did he leave in the first place?
Because
he just didn't have the talent.
USC is his dream job. He went to Fresno. I mean, he's a California dude. He wanted to go back. USC was his dream job. So he left Tennessee to go coach USC, which obviously didn't work out either. But that was his dream job.
Now, how did that exit go, Brown?
They left him at the airport. Left him at the airport. Pat Hayden left him at the airport. Didn't even let him get on the bus to come back home. Told him at the airport.
Sure did.
Yeah, and I didn't like Lane Kiffin at USC because he had closed practices. He didn't want the media in. He was very, hold the whole situation shut down. He didn't even let celebrities around the game. Well, that's LA. Got to have.
But let me ask you this: him and Todd Graham, these guys, and this goes back. I'm trying to be nice. How do they keep landing jobs, Dre?
Come on.
How do they do that?
You know how they do it, man.
We know how they do it.
The W word.
I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
Okay, just be nice, please.
They know the right people. And, people look out for their friends, man.
Yeah.
That's who they tend to hook up. And a lot of these guys, they're like Kiffin. His dad is Monty Kiffin, who was a long-time NFL defensive coordinator. So he got connections, and they always get jobs. All they got to do is call somebody and say, give my kid a shot. And they'll say, okay, as a nice gesture. Because they're friends. So there you go.
Yeah, he actually had his dad on as a defensive coordinator at USC. So they worked together. Yeah.
Sure did.
All right. Well, we're going to break down the rankings. And then, by the way, I will say this. And Kevin, you got to jump in this first and then go to you, Dre. The Texas game and Oklahoma State game, again, Texas was leading Oklahoma State. What happened in that game and how did the mullet come in there and get the job done?
It's the second half, man. Yeah, it's the second half. Texas has held double-digit leads in both against Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. They were up 18 in the third quarter against Oklahoma, 11 in the third quarter against Oklahoma State. In the fourth quarter, they just can't hold on to it. And Oklahoma State started running the football. They had 220 on the ground, but they had 170 yards in the fourth quarter. Texas had 1 yard. And that turned the game completely around because they were dominating that game at first. Texas was up by 14 early in that game, and they couldn't hold the lead. They were up 17-3. And here we come again the second half, and Texas couldn't hold on. That's 2 weeks in a row. So for the first time, I think this season, Texas is out of the top 25.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to break that down. I got those with me here. My dad calls me during 7 o'clock when Oklahoma is playing TCU. Well, they're playing with Spencer Rattler and this. And I said, okay, Dad, you know what the game of college football is all about? It's about one thing, Dad. It's about winning.
So what was he saying about Spencer Rattler? He wanted Spencer Rattler in there?
He said, well, they should give him a chance. I said, Dad, these people are going for the marbles. They're not going to let up. I don't care, because even the media was saying, well, he was a preseason favorite to win the Heisman.
He was.
Those games that he did win, they were suspect, every last one of them.
Every one of them. They struggled to beat
Tulane game. The Tulane game, they lucky that they didn't lose that game.
Tulane had a chance to beat Oklahoma. It was not just one game for Spencer Rattler. It's been all season long to the point that his own fans started booing him. And so at that point, Caleb Williams took over and they calling him Superman already. And he is
Caleb Williams looked like a NFL quarterback. He
4
can
touchdown
run.
passes.
He's mobile. He can throw the ball.
So Spencer is going to be in that portal. He's going to be in that transfer portal because he's not getting his job back. And he knows it because he was on the sideline with both his earrings and a cap on. He know he wasn't back in the lineup. And
I don't need my helmet today.
Yeah, he had a clean white helmet and some pretty earrings. He wasn't thinking about getting in the game because Caleb already got it. The fans are on the side. Again, 4 touchdown passes. Now, on the other hand, Oklahoma's got trouble on their defense because TCU had 529 of offense.
Yeah.
They gave up a whole lot of yards. So that's a big, flashing red flag. But right now, Caleb's not giving that job back.
All right. Now, Dre, here we go, man. We're going to do this. SEC, Florida, LSU, and what in the world happened to Ed Oregon? Because they said, why they make the announcement he's not coming back? What's up? I missed some of that. What's up on that, Dre?
Well, he said he got the call and he didn't dispute it. I guess he's going to do a little semi-retirement. I don't know what you think, Kev, because he said he acknowledged he's not coming back.
Well, if y'all remember last week, I said Ed Ogeron is on the hot seat. I said he's on the hot seat last week after winning the national championship just 2 years ago. Right. But I said because LSU is not just getting beaten, and they're getting beat. You got beat by Kentucky by 3 touchdowns, and Kentucky was actually up 35-7 in that game. And so to me, that sealed the deal for Ed Ogeron. Now, there's other stuff off the field with Ed. He's kind of getting accused of some of the stuff Art Browse was at Baylor, is looking the other way on some of his bad behavior of his players, his sexual stuff going on behind the scenes. Also, there was a video or a picture posted with him and some woman in bed together. That wasn't his wife. Now, he and his wife are not together anymore. And so there's also that off the field stuff that's going on. And so he's not winning enough to cover up that stuff, to keep that stuff quiet. And so it was just a matter of time. And I thought after Kentucky, the way Kentucky beat him, he was out of there. And that's why I said last week, he's on the hot seat. And he's out. He's supposed to finish out the season. We'll see if that actually happens, but he'll be gone after that.
All right. Yep. Well, all right. So here we go. We got some change in the rankings. First of all, to all you Longhorn fans, don't even ask. You're not even in there.
It's top 25.
When the Boilermakers get in at number 25 because they knocked off Iowa, that's what happened. So they're number 25.
You can make the case that's the biggest upset of the season because Purdue never sniffed the top 25 and dominated Iowa at Iowa 24-7. So you can make a case that's the biggest upset of the season. A&M beat Alabama, but A&M was in the top 10 at the start of the season. In fact, they were number 5 at one point. Purdue never snipped the top 25 and dominated Iowa. They threw for 378 yards and beat up Iowa at Iowa.
Man, could I ask you guys a question? Sure. Number 24, Texas San Antonio. I know nothing about them. I know that's y'all. That's
what we're going to tell you right now.
Okay.
University of Texas at San Antonio. Now, that's the University of Texas system. You have UT Arlington. You got UT Dallas. But, they didn't even have a football team.
It's
probably about
program.
8 years ago.
Yeah. Yes. Fairly new program. They're pretty good right now.
They had a guy by the name of Larry Cope.
Yeah. Came from Miami. Yeah, from Miami.
Yes, from Miami, who was the first person. You got this big dome there, the Alamo Dome. So play football there. So they're 7-0 in their ranked.
Yeah.
They've never been ranked before. I can't remember that them being there.
They had a good season. No, they had a good season a couple of years ago. Maybe if it wasn't last season, but never not this good. I mean, this is the best season. Again, Dre, they haven't been around that long. It's a fairly new program. But right now,
who do they play? Who's on their schedule?
They beat Rice 45-0. They got Louisiana Tech coming up this week.
Yeah, they're in that conference.
They beat Western Kentucky 52-46. They beat UNLV 24-17. They beat Memphis 31-28. They beat Middle Tennessee 27-13. They beat Lamar, the Cardinals, 54-0.
Wow.
They beat the University of Illinois 37-30. They beat Stephen F. Austin 24-10, and they beat Texas State by 2 points, 51-48. So when you look at that, those are good programs that they beat. Would you agree, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, they're good programs, of course. They're not going to get you into the top 10, but they're having a great season. They're beating the people that's on their schedule. So, yeah, you got to give them credit for what they've done so far.
Yeah, and they're the hottest game. Only San Antonio got one sport there, and that's basketball.
Yeah.
Half the people in San Antonio are Dallas Cowboy fans. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Yeah, a lot of them, and Houston. Some Houston too. But yeah, no,
they're Cowboy fans.
Cowboys and Houston too. Some of Houston, but they're Cowboys. Yeah.
More Cowboy fans, All right, next we got number 23 Pittsburgh, number 22 San Diego State, the Aztecs.
Yeah,
they're 6-0.
Still rolling.
SMU, they're number 21. They're 6-0. Baylor, 6-1, ranked number 20. They only lost to Oklahoma State.
Got a big
Number
one over
19,
BYU
Auburn.
this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, BYU is gone. They ride
that's
off
the second
sunset.
loss, yeah.
Auburn keep going up and down. Here come Auburn again. Back. North Carolina State, number 18. Texas A&M, they ain't going nowhere. They're number 17. They're 5-2. Here we go with Wake Forest. I got to stop on.
Why you got to stop on Wake Forest?
And I want to know who they playing.
ACC schedule, man. ACC. Clemson ain't worth too pretty.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah.
Kentucky dropped down to 15 after that loss over the weekend. Who blew them out? Georgia? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Georgia beat them. Mm-hmm. And I thought Georgia would handle them pretty easy.
Georgia beat them 30-13, I believe. Yeah.
Coastal Carolina is at number 14. Notre Dame is 13. They're 5-1. Mississippi is number 12 with a 5-1. Iowa dropped down to 11. Number 10 is Oregon. They're 5-1. Michigan State is number 9 with a 7-0 record. Oklahoma State is number 8 with a 6-0 record. Penn State is 7 with a 5-1 record. Michigan 6-0 at number 6. Ohio State is at number 5 with a 5-1 record. Alabama back in the top 4.
Of course, you know they're going to get them back up there as soon as they can.
Yep.
Oklahoma number 3, Cincinnati 2, and Georgia is 1.
How about Cincinnati too? But yeah, Georgia's playing some good football right now. And I figured they would handle Kentucky fairly easily, and they did. In fact, it's a little closer than I thought by halftime, but they turned it on there in the second half and pulled away. But yeah, you got to give it to Georgia, got to give it to Cincinnati. Again, Iowa fell 9 spots, and you can make the case that they should have never been number 2, but they got blasted. Of course, they're going to move Alabama back up as soon as they can.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and hit these picks real quick. And then we're going to do our talk about it next week. So here we go.
My condolences, Kevin, first of all, to USC, but they got to go to South Bend and play in Notre Dame this week.
That's
you know
why
they're going to get
USC
beat like 50-0. So my condolences early to you, Kevin Simon, on USC.
They probably gonna get their heads bashed in, but it's Notre Dame weekend. I got to support my boys.
All right.
All right. The first game was on Thursday Night Football. And I'm trying to remember who was in that game. Do you remember who that was, Kevin?
Tampa Bay at Philadelphia.
Tampa Bay, Philly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, that game started off pretty good. And now we all went with Bay on that one.
Except for Willie. Willie took Philly.
Okay, yeah, he did. That's right.
And I was like, Willie, come on, man. Come on, Willie.
So anyway, they started off pretty good. The Buccaneers did. But, the Eagles just, they just came back at the end, but it was too late. They were basically done, I think that the Buccaneers just put their foot off the pedal during that time.
Well, Tom Brady completed 80% of his passes. So I know Tom Brady was Tom Brady, but Jalen Hurts started getting booed for a split second. Just 115 yards passing. And the Philly fans, they would turn on you in a hurry. And so before they got going and scored those 2 late touchdowns to make it respectable, he was starting to get booed off the field. And so we'll see how long this lasts, but he didn't look really good, very good against the Buccaneers.
All right. And of course, then we had the matchup that we were all talking about, the Dolphins and the Jags. And I kept thinking, man, even you, Kevin, said this could go either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all thought Jacksonville could win that game. I actually said I should pick Jacksonville, but I can't in good faith because they haven't won a game. And you actually had it on your sheet. Yeah, said you had it on your sheet and scratched it out. Yeah,
I sure did. I had it right on there.
That's just 2 bad football teams. The England folks got to watch 2 bad teams play football. They both 1-5.
I know.
Yeah, that's what we had happen on that situation. So we ended up winning that game with Tampa Bay, and then we took the loss on the. We all took the Dolphins, right? The Fish.
Yeah, I think we all took the Dolphins. Yeah, we all.
Okay, I got it. Now the next game was between Kansas City and Washington. That was a tale of 2 halves. They most saved the season because it was Washington leading at first, and then they came storming back. We all picked KC, correct?
Yeah, we all picked KC. Yep. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 2 more interceptions. That's 8 on the season. Guess who he's tied with, Dre?
Roethlisberger?
Trevor Lawrence. Pat Mahomes has thrown 8 interceptions, and Trevor Lawrence has thrown 8 as well.
Wow.
All right.
Well, if Roethlisberger could throw the ball over 20 yards, he'd be in the mix.
He'd be getting them picked off. Yeah, he can't throw.
All he throws is screen passes, though, man.
But he need to take TJ Watt out for dinner because he should save
Watt saved the game. Yeah, he saved
the game. Well, listen, we got to take this break. We're going to come back and wrap up our picks. You're listening to Sports in the Mix with the crew. I am Cedric Bailey along with Kevin Simon and Dre Russell in the house. Hey, we're going to break down Week 7 and much more, so keep it right here on the BGC Sports Network. We see you, Atlanta Braves, in the house. And welcome back, segment 3 here on Sports in the Mix with the crew. Cedric Bailey, Kevin Simon, and Dre Russell in the house, rocking the Atlanta Braves. Come on. Do you got that tomahawk? What do they do there? Because
chop that tomahawk. Chop. I'm gonna turn my head around. Let me turn my head around. I feel like I need to turn my head around here. Turn my head around. I feel like I need to turn my head around. There's too much of that Atlanta stuff going on.
Atlanta Braves, baby.
So the Florida State Seminoles and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Braves are the one to do this.
With the tomahawk shop.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, well, here we go. We left off, so let's go back and check out the games in our schedule. And we got to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they went to play.
I don't know why y'all keep picking. The guy said finally got it right. I don't know, Dre. Why Dre said that? I said, Dre, I said it last week. The Cowboys got too much offense, man. They had 567 yards of offense. Dak was 445 passing and 3 TDs. They just got too much offense. That said, the Patriots gave them a run for their money.
So Dre, you went with the Patriots,
and I can't believe I did because I hate both teams. But I'm gonna give props to one player. That cornerback with the Dallas Cowboys, Diggs, that kid can play, man.
Yeah, he can play.
Reminds me of Deion Sanders.
Yeah, he got that pick 6 and then turned around and got burnt for 6 right on the next play. They came right back after. But Mac Jones played pretty well, but as the Cowboys, they just got too much offense, man.
All right. Ooh.
Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. Telling
you.
Super duper.
Oh, yeah, jump on it. Jump on it.
Mike Herbert.
It's full. The bandwagon is full.
You need to get your tickets right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Romo was talking that same talk during the broadcast.
Man, please. Yeah, please. Yeah. That's the problem right there. That's why. That's exactly why I left.
Hey, jump on it real quick. But hey, Willie took the Patriots too, Dre, just so you remember.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
And I ain't by the way, I ain't the only dunce in the group. Turn my head sideways.
Willie took him too.
All right, so here we go. We got to deal with the Rams and the Giants. I know we all took the Rams on that one.
Yeah, we all took the Rams. Okay, Matthew had 4 touchdown passes for Stafford. Daniel Jones threw 3 interceptions, so he's still coming out of that fog from that hit last week. But yeah, that was a disaster for the Giants.
Okay, Houston and the Colts. Colts' best game. They won 31-3. I know I took Indianapolis, the Colts.
We all took the Colts. Yeah, Mills threw 2 interceptions, so he's back to playing with the way he was before last week. So, yeah, we all took the Colts on that one.
Okay. Cincinnati and Detroit. I know we all took the Bengals.
Nope. Willie took the Lions. And I said, come on, Willie. I said, really, Willie?
Really, Willie?
Really, Willie. He took the Lions, but, the rest of us took the Bengals.
Okay, good. We're getting there. Green Bay and Chicago. I know I picked Green Bay.
We all took Green Bay.
Thank God.
We all took Aaron.
Man, I'm sure glad that you got this thing down. I was like,
it's in my head.
All right. Yeah. We own you.
And he does.
Now here's where we had to draw the line between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. What did you
I said this last week. We all took the Chargers except for Dre. And I said Dre will probably be the only one that got it right, and he was the only one that got it right, and it wasn't even close. It was a blowout.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they went with the Rams. We went with
me, you, and Willie. We went with the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right, the Chargers. And man, let's talk about that game, man. Oh God, man, they got Le'Veon Bell on the team, don't they?
Yeah,
they brought him in. The
Ravens did it with defense. Yeah, the Ravens did it with defense in their run game. They're 187. They held the Chargers to 208 total yards, 26 on the ground. So they did it. They did it with defense. Lamar didn't have a good game. He threw 2 interceptions, but they rushed for 187. And like I said, they gave up 208 to Herbert and the Chargers.
That team is just so well coached, man. Baltimore always has been. They're just so well coached. You know they're always going to be tough.
But think about it. You're flying all the way from California all the way across to Maryland They probably should have got in there a day early, and plus you're playing an early game. Yeah, I think they might have had jet lag. I don't know what happened.
Well, they did fly in early. They fly in. They get there. That can't be an excuse.
Yeah, that ain't no excuse. They just got their heads bashed in.
Yeah. They left out of here Friday. So they flew out of LA. They did.
I don't care if they left Thursday.
Friday, so
they got bashed.
Yep.
Lamar looked at him like Tommy Davidson. He said, I got something for you, boy.
Again, he didn't have a great game. That was the running game and the defense that won that game.
All right, Minnesota and Carolina. The Vikings won. Now, what did we have on that, Kevin?
I think we all picked Carolina.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, we all picked Carolina.
Okay,
yeah.
Lost that one, okay.
Big game for the Vikings. They had, 571 offense. So, and Sam Darnold's kind of being Sam Darnold. He was only 17 to 41. So, yeah, Vikings got it.
And in our defense, it went into overtime. So, hey.
Yeah, and that was a toss-up game. That was a toss-up game. We took Carolina because they were at home. That's exactly what. Yeah.
Okay. The sleeper, Arizona and Cleveland. What did we do in that, Kevin?
Yeah, you and Dre took Cleveland. Y'all jumped on Cleveland early. So I went and said, I'm going to take Arizona since y'all got Cleveland. Me and Willie took Arizona. You and Dre took Cleveland.
Man, Cleveland is so disappointing. And Arizona, props to them because, they're the only undefeated team in the NFL. Yeah. But look at the doggone Cleveland Browns, man, how bad they look sometimes.
Yeah.
They're like the Clippers, man. They can never get over the hump.
Right.
They like snake bit. But I'm surprised they got beat up like that at home.
Well, Baker turned the football over 3 times. Kyler threw for 4 touchdown passes. They outrushed Cleveland, who was leading the league in rushing, but Arizona had more rushing yards by twice as many on the ground. And so that turned out to be a blowout.
All right. Yep. Let's go to the Mile High City where the Las Vegas Raiders beat the Denver Broncos. What did you have in that, Kevin?
We all had the Raiders except for Dre. Dre went with the Broncos. We all took the Raiders.
I'll be honest, I thought the Raiders would have a hangover after the Gruden mess. I said maybe they'll play out of sorts, but they pulled it out. They played well.
What they did? They went over to Gruden's house.
I heard that. Yeah, told to tell him bye.
Are you serious? I didn't hear
that. They won't tell you who was over there, but Jay Glazer know who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, not the whole team. Some of the players.
No, some of the players. Yeah, some of the players.
Derek Carr drove the bus to get him over there.
He loves him some Gruden. Yeah, he actually said that on TV. But Carr had a good game, man. He bounced back 341, couple of touchdown passes, 3 touchdowns. So he played his game and they got out of there with the win. And our boy, turned it over. Teddy turned it over. It threw 3 interceptions. But go ahead and say it.
Let me tell you something. Y'all got to win this football game for me. Gruden, that's Gruden.
Yeah.
All right, Chucky.
You got to get out there and win this game for me, and do what I told you to do all the time. Show your game, and then we'll win.
Show me the emails.
Okay.
And I'll send y'all an email after.
Show me the emails.
And now I'm gonna take your Skechers contract now. So.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pittsburgh and Seattle. I know Dre went with Pittsburgh. He didn't throw the towel in, right?
Of course.
No, we all went with Pittsburgh. Yeah, we all went with Pittsburgh.
I got you down. Kevin, that's your 10th win right there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then on Monday Night Football, right now, I
picked Buffalo.
No, we all picked Buffalo.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm looking at it right now. Again, Kevin, man, it just depends. You got 10 wins and 3 losses. So you're possibly going to get another 11 wins if you go with them.
If Buffalo holds on, yeah.
And if I get this win, I got 10 wins.
You'll be behind me, yeah.
I got you at 8. So you need Buffalo to win so you get 9. But you got 5 losses, bro. So again, at least I'm not in the bottom and below no 500%.
Now,
my God.
This is something, guys, I've noticed. Maybe it's not a trend, official trend, but I think since COVID, I think home field advantage is not what it used to be. I mean, of course, last year fans weren't in the stands. It didn't matter. Last season, I should say. But this time, it seems like home field advantage doesn't mean as much as it used to in the NFL. Teams get beat at home all the time now. And you didn't see that as much, in my opinion, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I got you.
Yeah, I think you make a case that people are traveling better.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We got 6 minutes or 7 minutes. Dougie Fresh, we're on. Let's do it. Here we go. Thursday Night Football. Denver, Cleveland. Who you got, Dre?
That's a tough one to pick. I understand Mayfield's banged up, but I'm scared to go against those clowns. The game is at Cleveland.
And it's in Cleveland.
I'm going to go ahead and say Cleveland.
All right, dog, man. Kevin? I'm going to go with Denver. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going with Denver.
Kev, you there?
Kevin? Yeah, he's
Did we
coming.
lose him? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm back, man.
Yeah,
I'm starting to lose y'all. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Who are you going with?
I got Cleveland. Are we still talking about that
Okay.
game?
Yeah.
I'm by myself on that one. Okay.
You said
Carolina
Cleveland
will be in
also? You said
Giants.
Cleveland? I lost you a little bit, Cedric. You said Cleveland?
I went with Denver.
Oh, Denver.
Okay.
What? Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna be playing Guy up in the house,
Okay.
Teddy Jam, when they come in the PA box. Jam. Oh. You know what they said about Teddy Bridgewater? Teddy
What?
said, "I don't watch sports at home."
Really?
Okay. All right.
All right. Carolina will be in New York to take on the Giants. You know I'm going with Carolina. Okay.
I'm going with Carolina also.
Going with Carolina. The Giants probably win that game, but yeah, I'm going with Carolina.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right. New York Jets versus New England. I'm going with the Patriots.
Patriots for me too.
I got it. Okay. You got it. Kevin's already memorized it. Next game, we got Tennessee at home against Kansas City. That is going to be a good game.
The hardest game to pick this weekend is that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going with Kansas City. They still have Pat Mahomes, so till otherwise, I'm going to pick Kansas City.
I sure do want to say Tennessee right here. Go ahead, Kevin. Cedric, go ahead. I'm trying to see the score of this game now.
I put down Tennessee. I put down Titans. Okay.
Do I got to pick this one? This one's going to end up in a tie. Oh man, I want to say Tennessee also.
Take Tennessee. I mean, they might win. Kansas City's defense is still suspect.
Kansas City is suspect. All right, I'm going Tennessee.
Okay, I got you down. Washington at Green Bay. You know I'm going with Green Bay on that.
Aaron.
Yes, sir. Green Bay.
Okay, I got you down there. I own the Redskins.
Yeah.
All right, the next game at Miami, Atlanta versus Miami.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Atlanta.
What?
Yeah. I mean, what is the Dolphins? The Dolphins just lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah, but Atlanta ain't done nothing either.
No, but I'm gonna take the Falcons.
Two bad teams. I'm gonna go Miami. I'm gonna keep picking Miami until they win the game.
I put Miami right there. Okay.
All right, give me the Falcons. Give me the Falcons.
Okay, you got them then. Okay. Cincinnati will be at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Oh, give me the Ravens.
You gonna go with the Ravens?
Yeah, give me the Ravens. Me and Dre with the Ravens, Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh man.
Who you going with, Sid? That's a good matchup.
I'm going with the Ravens. I'm gonna put down there Baltimore on that one. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got on here. We got Detroit at Los Angeles.
I might suit up for the Rams in that game.
Let me do like Willie. Give me the Lions. I was like, what Willie? Who picks the Lions? Give me the Rams, man.
Hey, I might suit up on that one, man. It's right down the street from my house.
You might start on that one.
They might put me in the game in that one.
All right, the Raiders at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. You know I'm going with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
I'm a roll with the Raiders too.
Thank you.
Just win, baby. Just win, baby.
Just win,
I can
baby.
say it now. Gruden's out. I can at least be nice to him.
Yeah.
All right. Houston versus Arizona.
Easiest game of the week, man.
Play his whole team.
I'm going Houston.
Willie,
I got the ghost of Willie on me.
Go with Willie.
That was on the Cardinals for me. Don't you write that down, Cedric. I'm just playing.
I know. I put AC on there.
Yeah, we all
right. Next we got. All right. Tampa Bay at home against Chicago. I'm going with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
give me Brady.
Easy one. Easy one.
Okay. All right. We almost there. And then we got on NBC on Sunday night, it's be the Colts versus the 49ers. Is that the best they could do?
That's a tough match. Yeah, that's a toss-up game. But I'm gonna take the 49ers.
So am I. That's a tough one to pick, though.
Yeah, that's a toss-up game.
All right. Let me look at this now.
I wouldn't be surprised if it goes overtime. That's one of those games. I wouldn't be surprised if it went OT.
Who you got, say?
I'm
going with the 49ers. Okay.
I'm going to tell you before you say
Monday night.
This last game is another tough one to pick, guys, in my opinion.
The Saints in Seattle.
Saints at Seattle.
I mean, yeah, Saints at Seattle. I'm going to say New Orleans on that one, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints.
You got
only because Russell ain't playing. If Russell was playing, I'd take Seattle, but I'm taking the Saints.
What Dre got?
I
lost you for a second. What did you do?
I'm gonna go.
You still thinking? What about you, Kevin?
I go Saints. Kevin
Saints.
Yeah. But
that's
gonna be that game where I'm gonna tell you now. I'm picking the Saints, but I bet Seattle wins.
Probably. But I got the Saints, Ed.
Okay. Now, who has the bye this week? By the way, who has the bye?
I know the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys are off.
Buffalo,
yeah.
The byes this week are the Buffalo Bills, Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. Well, they got 6 teams that got byes this week.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, we are down the last 60 seconds or so, man. And I just want to say thank you guys for making it phenomenal and everything. And we will definitely see. But right now, Kevin, if we had a trophy to present, you're holding it by a few spots. It's
okay.
Take me to get out. To get out of there, but we coming for you, bro.
Okay, all right. You keep saying that every week. Every week is the same result.
Dre, you get the final message, man.
I'm tired of
final
winning.
comment?
I'm tired of winning.
Hey, man.
Okay, Willie.
All I got to say is something. I love this month of October because this is when all 3
Me
sports
too.
are getting it, man. NBA kicks off officially, even though the preseason's been going on for a couple of weeks, and I've been going to these games, and I'm like, ooh, And then NFL is right in smack dab in the middle, and baseball is trying to see who's going to go to the World Series. So I'm loving it. October,
let me throw in this real quick for Washington State, the football team. The Cougars just fired their head coach because he didn't want to get vaccinated. Head coach and 4 assistants, because in the state of Washington, you need to get vaccinated if you're a state employee. He is the highest paid state employee in the state of Washington. He just got fired, let go because he didn't want to get vaccinated, kept making up all kind of excuses, and they finally let him go today with 4 assistants.
And aren't they winless this year, Kevin?
They're 4-3. They're actually pretty good. Washington State 4-3.
I'm thinking Washington State. Oh, it was
Washington State. The Cougars are 4-3.
That's the Cougars. Yeah.
Washington State. Okay.
Well, our time is up.
Fired the head coach. Yeah.
Our time is up. You've been listening to Sports in the Mix with the crew. I'm Cedric Bailey along with Kevin Simon and Dre Russell. We'll catch you again real soon. So thanks a lot for checking us out here on the BGC Sports Network. Thank you, gentlemen.
Go Braves.
Go Blue. Not a